All right, welcome back to the podcast, Triple OT with four people. We really only got three. One person sits on the sideline for half the show. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some sports. We obviously had a big week in football. Not big week, but a big game in football last night. The two QBs the Bears passed on regrettably. They showed out yesterday. Deshaun Watson didn't have the best game that we expected, but Pat Mahomes
Trubisky
played really
ball.
well. Pat Mahomes balled out. He had three touchdowns, I believe.
hmm
And then also we had the great rookie who was my pick for rookie of the year, Clyde Edward-Helaire. How did y'all feel about that game? Let's talk with you, Evan.
Yeah, I mean, it's first and foremost, it was great to have football back, man. Obviously, it was a lot up in the air. What's up? Yeah, there was a lot up in the air this season. With the COVID and everything. So I'm just happy it's back. To be honest with you, I mean, the Chiefs looked like they was in midseason form. Honestly, they came out there, did what they had to do. Obviously, the Texans scored first, but I mean, you said it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire came in, stepped right in, balled. I know he was a huge, fantasy guy that everybody had their eyes on. I mean, he looked like he belongs in that offense. I mean, they have so many weapons. I mean, Sammy Watkins was getting off. Travis Kelsey, of course, Pat Mahomes doing Pat Mahomes things. I mean, the Chiefs are. We all know that they're the Super Bowl champs and they're formidable. I mean, they just got even better. Drafting Hilaire and their defense looked good. Their run defense wasn't that great, but they were getting pressure. Tyrann Matthews out there doing his thing per usual. Getting interceptions. I mean, I don't see how anybody can beat them. I know it's only week one. I don't want to overreact, but I mean that offense is potent. We all know that, and it just gets better with Hilaire. He's a rookie and he's already eclipsed 100 yards, and they didn't even use him in the pass game, which is one of his biggest strengths. Coming out of draft and that he showed at LSU. I mean, they're looking like they have the potential to go back to back, and not only that, but be the next dynasty. I mean, obviously the Texans missed, D Hop. You know, he had Will Fuller out there who didn't do much, but trading D Hop was a bad move at the time. It looked even worse. Yeah, David Johnson scored, but whatever. It's the Texans at the end of the day. Deshaun Watson can only do so much. I didn't really like how Bill O'Brien used him yesterday. He didn't let him pass too much. I don't know if his receivers weren't getting separation or what. I think that had something to do with it. But I mean, you just paid your quarterback $40 million, and they were treating him like he was, like he was Sam Ellinger, at Texas, running
Whoa,
running the ball
no
the whole.
disrespect for the Texas Longhorns.
No, I'm just saying, he was just treating them like that. But it was great to have football back. Pat Mahomes is a star. The Chiefs are loaded, and they look poised to go back to back.
Now, I want to ask you, you mentioned, him running the ball a lot. Do you think that part of the reason he's running the ball a lot is try to prove that, David Johnson was worth picking up and, to kind of justify that trade with DeAndre Hopkins?
I think so, and I think it's early in the season. Obviously with no preseason and stuff, you kind of want to stick to your, basic inside outside zones, run scheme. So that plays a big part of it as well. He was gashing him a little bit on the ground, so obviously that plays a part of it. And like I mentioned, no D Hop makes everything harder for the entire offense. So I think he was trying to get him going a little bit. He obviously scored a touchdown, but I don't. There's no justification for that trade being an okay trade. But David Johnson, he wasn't sorry or nothing out there. I just don't think it was a good trade at the time, and I still don't think it was a good trade. So, but like I said, you probably just stick to your basic runs, inside outside zones, especially week one.
Now, I'm going to go to what you say about the trade because personally, I think D Hop is a little bit of an overrated player. I mean, I think he's a top five, top three receiver in the league. But, I think, especially growing up in the early 2000s, we saw some of the greatest receivers of all time in the early 2000s. Like the early 2000s was so saturated with receivers. You got Randy Moss, Torrey Holt, T.O. To the end of the 2000s, you got Calvin Johnson. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is anywhere near that class that those players were. Um, and also, the reason why I don't mind the trade too much is you just paid DeAndre Hopkins $27 million. The Arizona Cardinals did $27 million for a wide receiver, not a quarterback, not somebody who touches the ball all the time, not a middle linebacker who calls your plays on defense. You did that for a wide receiver who maybe might touch the ball 80 times a year or five to eight times a game. So I don't mind that trade too much in that aspect. And also last year, D Hop had a little bit of dropsies. I think he only had a little over 1,100 yards. So I don't mind that trade too much. And like they said yesterday on the broadcast, it kind of lets them open up their offense a little bit more. Now, obviously, we'll see how D Hop does this year, but I don't think he's going to do as well as many people think he's going to do this year.
Really? You don't think so? In Cliff Kingsbury's offense, where they run that air raid, all they do is really throw the ball.
He,
I get they got good corners in that division, but with Jalen Ramsey and Richard Sherman. But I mean, I think D Hop's going to be a big part of the team. You still have to respect him, even if you don't think that he is going to, get the ball 10 times a game, which more than likely he's probably not. But I mean, you still have to respect him. He's still a threat out there, like you said. He's still one of the top 3 receivers in the NFL. So I mean, you gotta respect him. And my thing is with that contract, he was gonna get that contract regardless. So I get people love to say, oh, you overpay for this guy, you overpay for that guy. It's like, yeah, but guys like that, they're gonna get their money. Like they're gonna get paid, and he deserves that contract. So that's really all I have to say about
and let somebody else waste their money. That's all I gotta say. All right,
I mean, D Hop's a stud, bro.
Brian and Meach, what y'all gotta say?
Yo, football is back. You know it's back when we got Brian being the fourth wheel on the show. So that's for starters. We could start in with the game yesterday. Wasn't too surprised. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They look good. The one thing I was surprised about, the running game. Running game looked really good, especially up the middle. That guard they got, I believe he came from Oakland. He came from Oakland.
Kalichi
Yeah,
Osemele.
he was moving bodies. He was moving bodies and making it easy for Clyde to hit that one cut. And Clyde has some moves. I would have liked to see him get more involved in the passing game, but that's so scary because I think he had one target and it was an incomplete ball. So the Chiefs is so hard to prepare for them because you never know who the game plan's for. Kelsey's going to get his dose of passes. Hill really wasn't a factor. He caught like one touchdown at the end in the goal line, but Sammy comes and disappears. You had some Robinson sightings. Miko Hardman didn't hear his name, so it's a richer wealth over there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to play with them, but I like Clark coming off the edge on the defense. He hit him with the little shoulder lean. He was getting there. I don't know what Tunsil was doing with all that money because they was getting pressure on Watson.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. We're gonna say it wasn't all from Tunsil's side. They had Howard on the other side getting blown up, but yeah, I think the Texans. I mean, it hurts that Cooks wasn't healthy, so he kind of came and disappeared. I thought Fuller had some garbage time moments, at the end. But, I mean, he had Snead guarding him, a rookie. It should have been easy work. I think what's going to hurt them is it's just they got the same kind of receivers, and they didn't really get Randall Cobb involved until late. But all their receivers kind of have the same routes, Cooks being the best route runner on the team. But they don't got that. They don't got that necessarily jump ball contest receiver. They don't got a body. That's what you lost in Hops. And Hops, some of the most secure hands in the game. So I think you lose that. David Johnson looked good, but already was injured. I think he was out a couple plays, because I mean he's not going to make it through the season. And Duke Johnson's not. I don't trust him. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. That defense was just getting dogged, So I mean, J.J. Watt, hopefully he can stay healthy, but Roby gave Hill some go. I don't even know if they were looking for Hill enough, but I mean, it looked decent. So it's just going to be a tough season for. I mean, they're going to be competitive in that division, but they don't got no championship aspirations from what I saw. And I think the Chiefs are only going to get better because their offense is too open. And if that defense can do anything, then yeah, they're good. Let me see. As far as Hopkins, definitely pay the man. That's what I say about that. Pay the man. If Amari Cooper was the highest paid receiver before this, I believe, or close to it. So, I mean, if Amari's making a lot of money, you need to double up Hopkins because Hopkins and Amari ain't even in the same sentence.
Oh
That's kind
my
of how I feel about
goodness.
that.
Yeah, no,
You
that's a
know,
good point. What do you think about that, Dylan? I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is better than Amari Cooper, and
they're not in the
obviously,
same breath.
yeah,
You can't.
they're not. And Amari Cooper's getting paid 20. I get, the
And I
Washington
thought we
team tried to steal
overpaid
it
for
away.
Amari. I thought we overpaid for Amari. But here's the thing.
So that's
Here's the problem with DeAndre Hopkins' contract. He has a no trade clause and a no franchise tag clause. So in other words, the Cardinals are screwed. If he does really well, he can just walk out the door when after 2 years are up. if he plays really bad, they can't get out of that contract. Now, yes, it's a short-term contract, which makes it a little bit easier to swallow. But in the long run, I just don't like the deal because I'm for the team. I think it's. I think in terms of the team, like I want the deal to be friendly for the team, and it's such an unfair
You're not for the.
deal.
I'm for the players. I'm for the players. You're supposed to be for your players getting paid. Get that money.
No.
You know you're gonna be hurt. You're gonna be hurt this year when Dak don't do his thing, and Dak's up there looking for a contract. Dak going broke. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your money while you can get your money. And I like that Hopkins. He didn't have no agent. He did the deal himself. Get your bag. You know it's a short game. You know what I'm saying? So he got paid, and I think the NFL people get overpaid. It's grossly overpaid. So without most of your money not being guaranteed, I'm happy for it. But that no trade, it definitely hurts because you're stuck with him. But I mean, they'll be all right. He's young enough where they'll be fine. And there are other receivers. I mean, Fitzgerald's probably gone in a year. So I mean, yeah, I think they'll be fine.
No, my thing is you got to pick one. Pick one. Either you get a no trade or you get a no franchise. You're not getting both.
Right. So here's my thing as well. How do you justify being the Texans? You pay Brandon Cooks. Well, you take his contract. You pay Cobb. You know what I'm saying? You got some nice contracts because Cooks is not cheap, and you pay Cobb some nice money. You know what I'm saying? So if you're paying that kind of money, and then you just made Tonsil super paid, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Tonsil's a good left tackle, but do I think Tonsil's the best left tackle in the game? No. Probably not. But he's getting paid like he's the best. So I just think they had money to throw. You could have paid Hop. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because you're paying David Johnson, and David Johnson is, that 2 years of injuries has decreased his value. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, they got some ugly contracts on their books. Bill O'Brien, a good coach, not a good GM. I think we all know that. So, his clock's ticking.
All right, several things I need to address real quick. First off, let's let it be known that you're a DeAndre Hopkins hater from the get. All right, so just throw that out there. Second off, a team needs to pay for their best player when he perfectly fits their scheme. That's why Zeke got paid so much, because they're a run-heavy team, or you were when you paid Zeke, right? Paid him all that money. The man's overpaid. But it's fine because he fits your scheme. He fits perfectly into y'all's scheme. That's why y'all drafted that great-ass O-line, because you want to lean on Zeke, right? They're in an air raid offense over in Arizona. So, of course, they're going to pay their best receiver, who's still young and in his prime. And not to mention that contract it's actually a team-friendly contract. Think about it. All their players who are up and coming are still on rookie contracts. In 2 years, they're going to have to pay all of them. So what did they do? They allowed themselves to have the opportunity to renegotiate his deal 2 years down the road. So all that's fine. He's getting all the money that he really wants up front before they have to pay everybody else, like Kyler and everybody else. So that's actually a team-friendly deal.
Talk that talk. I like that point right there. I don't like the offensive fit, though. I really don't think it's a good offensive fit for him.
How?
But I do agree. You see enough teams when you have a young quarterback, that's when it's time to invest around the people around him.
But those young quarterbacks that we're talking about that people always talk about are Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott made less than $1 million a year. Kyler Murray's making $9 to $10 million a year. So it's not as much money. They're not saving as much money with Kyler as a lot of people think they are.
They're saving money when you think quarterbacks are getting $30 million. You know what I'm saying? That's
money, what it's not like they got a free quarterback. They're still paying the man, but it's not a free quarterback.
Nah, I get that. I still would argue the system fit. We're gonna see, how it comes out, but I don't think he's a good, I don't think he fits their scheme.
All right, LeBron,
to be honest with you.
A run heavy offense from the Seahawks. Tyler Lockett got over 100 catches, I'm pretty sure, last year. And you made the point that DeAndre Hopkins won't even get 80. He barely see the ball 8 times a game. I don't think that's true in a system that's designed to be throwing the ball the entire freaking
Tyler
game.
Lockett got 82 catches last year.
Okay, all right. How many targets did he get?
I don't know. But the thing is with the air raid offense, you want speedy receivers. Hop isn't speedy.
Yes, he is, bro. What are you talking about?
4.55 40.
Bro, you don't need speedy receivers for.
I don't think 40 time has anything to do with your actual on-field
but
time.
his on-field time isn't even that
run
fast.
Any route. He can break people down after the catch. The man can do pretty much everything.
Right.
He's not a Brandon Cooks type receiver where you have to scheme for him all the time because he can go over the middle and make those same catches he can 40 yards down the field.
Right.
So, and on
Nah,
top, transferring over to Texans Chiefs. I think that the Texans actually have a new offensive coordinator, which is why they played so different. They got all those short, speedy receivers because they're switching to more of a West Coast type of offense to where DeAndre Hopkins won't have to hold on to the ball for so long.
You mean
But as
Deshaun
you saw,
Watson?
yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, Deshaun Watson won't have to hold on to the ball for so long. They brought in Duke Johnson, of course, and then David Johnson, 2 running backs they could honestly use at the same time. I don't know how they're going to scheme it out, but they're both like, receiver type running backs who can run in between the tackles sometimes. I don't think Duke Johnson's that good of a running back, more of a receiving back. But the wide receivers they have, if you really look at the prototype, they got Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, all fast people who are kind of smaller. I don't think Will Fuller is actually that short, but he's the same type of speedy type receiver, right?
Yeah.
So you lull people to sleep with the short pass game, and then all of a sudden you can throw it over the top because they're gonna go right past the receiver. I mean, a cornerback.
Yeah, which is what the Chiefs did yesterday. If you watch the beginning of the game, like hitting short balls, and you're just waiting for them to throw it deep. But when they did throw it deep, they had that drop with I think it was Robinson in the end zone. So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. But what do you do when you get in the red zone?
It's a different type of offense though. Like they spread it out so much, which is why Hilaire is so good in that offense, or why he will be. It's because he's a short guy who can run up, like he's very quick, very elusive, good hands, like y'all said. And they have to worry about every other receiver out there, all those other weapons. They don't run nothing similar to what the Texans run. So I mean, that's hard to compare.
Yeah. I would like to mention
Also, the Texans defense is complete trash. Like I told you yesterday, while what's happening, you were like, their D line is good. No, it's not.
their
Look,
D-line is
they
good.
got one person on the field, bro. Like literally, their team is bad defensively. Offensively, they used to be able to mask some things because they had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller taking everybody's top off on defense, but like they don't do that no more. So they have to figure out a way to scheme around their weaknesses on defense. I don't see it happening, especially when you're going up against the Chiefs. Like I know the Chiefs did just win the Super Bowl, and their offense is really good, but I doubt you'll get that type of output from Hilaire and some other people when they play against better defense.
Hilaire is going to put up 1,600 yards this year. Not rushing, but like 1,600 yards from scrimmage.
Hey, I can see that.
Hilaire's a stud, man.
But when you getting targeted like 6 times a game, plus you're running the ball over 10 times a game, you can get up to 1,600. It's not that bad. All-purpose yards. Le'Veon was doing
He's
that.
winning Rookie of the Year, hands down.
I don't know about hands down, but he could win it. Yes, I'm not taking.
He'll be in the conversation. I think it's between him and Burrow. To be honest with you, I think a sleeper for Rookie of the Year is Brian Edwards too, for the Raiders.
Brian Edwards.
Sleeper, big sleeper. I said I like Edwards just because the position. I think he's pro ready. If he's healthy, he was a first round pick. If he could have stayed healthy at South Carolina, I think Ruggs got that boomer bust. But those are 2 guys that are gonna play. I like Pittman.
I don't even throw down the field.
Yeah, I like Pittman from the Colts. It's just his depth chart. I think he's the only big body receiver on that depth chart. But I think right now he's 4th. So he's got to work his way in a little bit, but I think he'll be a monster. But I definitely think right now, I mean, if you're starting, so you look at Burrow, if he can take them to like 5 wins, I think, he could be in that Rookie of the Year easy.
Nah, Burrow's got a lot of weapons at his disposal, so I think he'll put up some decent numbers. I mean, he's got 3 pretty good receivers on his team, and then a good running back. So I think Burrow's going to put up some decent numbers. But back to the Texans, their tight end is. I think their tight end is going to be a breakout candidate this year in fantasy. Their tight end looks pretty good. I think he's going to be their go-to weapon because they don't have any red zone targets. So when they get to the red zone, they're going to have to target that tight end.
Yeah, no, he was good last year. I had him in fantasy last year. Darren Fells is a solid pickup.
I thought you were talking about Jordan Akins.
I mean, Akins is the one that caught the touchdown. I believe. Yeah.
Akins not even that big though.
I mean, a tight end. Nowadays, the tight end, you 6'2", 6'3", like 240. You're big, I guess. You know what I'm saying? 230. All these little flanker tight ends.
I mean,
but
corners are only like 5'11".
Also, somebody else, I can't remember if it was one of y'all, but somebody said that Will Fuller wasn't going to be the man, and Houston is that what somebody said?
Mish,
Listen.
Oh.
You're saying Will Fuller is the man when Brandon Cooks missed every practice and was injured. Brandon Cooks will be the number one receiver on that team. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Will Fuller only knows one route, or maybe two. I throw in a screen.
Really? Because he was catching all types of passes yesterday.
I throw in a screen. He's catching garbage passes towards the end of the game.
Right. He only had the ball thrown to him 3 times at the end of the game.
Cap. It's cool though. I mean,
And
he
he could have
padded.
had a touchdown had Deshaun Watson not underthrown him. Let's be honest.
He padded your fantasy stat sheet, so you're a little hype. But other than that, I mean, he was lucky to get 100 yards. Very generous.
Mish sounds like a hater.
I ain't got nothing to hate for. It hurt me a little bit fantasy that Deshaun Watson put up garbage points at the end, but that's what happened. He had a bad game, and they'll pad his stats. Mahomes took his foot off the pedal. Mahomes could have kept it flowing. They were chilling. The whole
All
time.
right, well,
The Chiefs.
well, let's move on to the games for this weekend. Let's do a little bit of pick 'em, I guess,
Let's do it.
and like quick analysis. I don't want to run too long with it.
Yeah.
But let's look at the games for this weekend. We got a lot of games, obviously, 16 games. The first week of NFL season. Super excited. A lot of people didn't think we'd be here, but here we are. Let's start off with let's go with the Giants and Steelers, the game that we had.
How you start with a Monday night game?
'Cause we're
I
going
really want to know
backwards.
how
We're gonna
you
go
do that.
backwards.
Okay, you're different.
Because I was thinking of primetime games. I'm trying to get the schedule up, but I can't get the schedule up right now.
Go ahead, Dylan. Me and you go first, so Meech and Brian can talk their crap.
All right. So obviously, I got the Giants. I think Big Ben is going to be a bum this year. His arm's not going to be able to hold up.
State your bias real quick. You're a Big Ben hater. Go ahead, state it.
I'm a Big Ben hater. I've been a Big Ben hater.
Here we go.
And you're going to call me a hater for everybody that I don't pick.
No, because you let it be known all the time that you hate this person. That's why you always vote against him.
Hey, continue.
Yeah, let's keep this quick.
All right. So obviously, I got the Giants winning that game. How about you, Evan?
I got the Steelers winning. I don't know how. I think the Steelers are going to be good this year. I mean, that defense is ridiculous. I don't think, obviously, the Giants have Saquon Barkley. We'll see how Danny Dimes does second year. But really, their only proven weapon is Saquon Barkley. I mean, Sterling Shepard is up and down. Golden Tate's old. That Steelers defense is ridiculous on the front line and in the secondary. And I think Big Ben's going to be good this year. Is he going to be prime Big Ben? No. But do I have him afloat? Yeah, I do. And I'm not too. So we'll see. This is Joe Judge's first game. So we'll see. Jason Garrett calling the offense. I don't know how that's going to go, but I got the Steelers.
All right,
No
go ahead,
hate.
Meech.
Man, this is one I don't like picking against my team, but I know how we play. We do not usually win first games of the season. This is
because
a
y'all
tough.
playing the Cowboys normally.
No,
That's
but this is a tough matchup. I look at the Steelers team, which I do not think is that talented of a team, but they match up well against us. You got a guy like Devin Bush who's fast. You got fast linebackers who can they can give Saquon some type of go on passes, run with him. I think we're going to learn a lot about this offensive line. You're throwing a rookie in the fire and saying block TJ Watt, who's one of the stars. So we're going to learn a lot about our toughness. I don't think their offense is that good, but one person who I think will break out, Deontay Johnson, I think, I think he's going to give us problems. I don't worry about Juju because I think Bradbury will shut him down. I'm not worried about that. But I think Johnson is going against, we're fighting for who our number 2 is. And I think Johnson's going to expose whoever that random guy is. So I can't pick against my team, but it's going to, I got the Giants, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lost.
You put 20 on with Brian. You bet $20.
Listen. I expect my team to win, but I'm a realist. I'm gonna learn a lot about my team at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. If we win, we're ahead of the schedule. We're a tough team because regardless of how untalented I think the Steelers are on offense and stuff like that, the Steelers play a tough football. That's one thing they do. So we're gonna learn.
Of course, I think the Steelers are going to win, but for different reasons. I think Daniel Jones is going to really give the game away. He's not going to play that well.
Oh, give the game away.
Wow.
He's going to have a couple turnovers. It's going to
Him and Ben are going to be trading gifts.
It might be that way, but we have a defense to rely on. Y'all don't. But look, I think that people oftentimes forget that the Steelers, they talk about Deontay Johnson, they talk about Juju, but they don't talk about the guy who actually won the Biletnikoff in college 2 years ago. Like James Washington had a
Scrub.
breakout season last year. And he's actually the number 2. Everybody keep talking about the number 3 slot guy. Like he gonna be the one coming out going against number 2 cornerbacks. It's not gonna be that way.
Oh yeah.
So-
Well, if Deontay Johnson's in the slot, Darnay Holmes is locking that. So yeah, that's not good for him. But
You didn't sound too confident about 45 seconds ago. But
no, I had him playing number 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I love my slot corner. He's young and I think he's the second best corner on the team easily already.
Paul George.
okay. Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think the defense will continue to be stout. People will learn a lot about the Steelers offense and actually realize that we do kind of got a few weapons here and there. But that's all I think.
Say that. So we're split. We're split on that game. That's cool.
I feel like the Steelers got the edge because you're kind of halfway on the Steelers side.
We're saying it's 2-2, man. Let's keep it moving.
All right. So next is the Titans Broncos, the other Monday night game. I'm gonna go with let's go Evan. I got my pick. Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough, man. You know the Broncos got my boy Jerry Jeudy, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. I think Drew Lock's going to take a next step. But obviously they got the Von Miller injury. I don't know if Sutton is going to play or if he's healthy. That offensive line's still a little bit shaky. I'm going to go Titans. For this one. I just think that Derrick Henry will be too much, especially with Von Miller out. The Broncos have Justin Simmons back there as safety. They got AJ Boye. They lost Chris Harris. Yeah, I'm gonna go Titans, and that defense is good. Obviously, they got Jadeveon Clowney this week. He's been in that system. He knows how to play under Mike Vrabel. So I think the Titans are a really disciplined team. I do think that they overachieved last year, so I don't think they'll make it back to the AFC Championship. But I got them winning this game.
We ain't asked for all that. We just asked who's gonna win the game.
You shut up. I'm just saying. I got the Titans.
Hey, we're on the same board, man. Feed the last king. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. Feed Henry and keep feeding him the ball. If he don't got 30 carries, something's wrong.
Yeah, I think the Titans are going to win. I think Corey Davis is going to surprise people and catch a deep bomb. But besides that, Corey Davis. Yeah, people forgot about him. That's why I said that. I also think the Broncos would be a lot better than they were last year, but because of some injuries on offense, I think Courtland Sutton, I'm not sure if he's playing this game, but I think the offense is kind of too new to go up against a defense like the Titans and just be that successful. It's probably not going to happen in game one. And the defense will probably show out. Derrick Henry might get 100 and do his thing. But yeah.
All right. I'm picking the Broncos.
You love Drew Lock.
I'm going to tell you why I'm picking the Broncos. Picking the Broncos, one, because I think Ryan Tannehill's going to regress. I like Ryan Tannehill. I think he's a good quarterback. Like, I think he's a decent quarterback. I think he's a good game manager, a decent starter. But I think he's going to regress because, one, Derrick Henry doesn't play that well in the beginning of the season. He's a second half of the season kind of player. He doesn't play well at the beginning of the season. I think he's going to take a step back a little bit. He's going to be a little disappointing. But, I mean, the last 2 years, he's done really well in the second half of the season and hasn't done well at the beginning of the season. So that's my take on that. But I think also Drew Lock is a dark horse MVP candidate. I think he's going to ball out this year. I'm looking forward to watching Drew Lock play. I think their receiving core is very talented. They got a lot of young talent on there. Yes, they got Courtland Sutton. Yes, they got Jerry Jeudy. Yes, they got the other receiver they drafted this year. But everyone forgets about Noah Fant. Noah Fant was a first-round pick. And I think he's going to have a breakout year this year. So I'm picking the Broncos to win that game.
How's the Broncos' offensive line look? Y'all know?
I don't know how their offensive line looks, but I don't care. Drew Lock's balling out.
It's shaky, but we'll see. I mean, I think the Broncos got some things to do. They got an offense. I won't lie. They do got some weapons.
All right, I'm back.
All right, let's talk about the game that matters the most this weekend. The best game. The Dallas Cowboys opening up SoFi Stadium. All right. That is the game of the week, obviously. Every year the Cowboys open this Sunday Night Football. It's what we do. That's what happens when you're the most popular team in the world, the most valuable team in the world. You open up everything. So we have to open up SoFi Stadium. And I think we're going to win that game, obviously. I think it's not going to be that close. I think our defense is going to surprise a lot of people. We got some young, talented corners. I think Trayvon Diggs might get a pick or two. I think he might have a great welcome to the NFL moment. Um,
Pick or
now
two.
Jordan Lewis is hurt right now, so he's a great slot cornerback. So I don't know how Cooper Cup's going to do, but I think right now they have Anthony Brown as our number one. I think I would be smart to put him in the slot to cover Cooper Cup because Chidobe Awuzie, he's more of an outside cornerback. So I think that would be a good move for the Cowboys right there. Our defensive line is it's super talented, but are these guys going to stay healthy all year? Are they going to stay off the weed? I don't know. So I'm interested in seeing what we do with that. I think our defensive line is going to show out. Our linebacking core obviously is the best linebacking core in the NFL. So it'll be fun to watch. And then obviously, like top to bottom, I mean, if we get Earl Thomas, top to bottom will be the best team in the NFL. Um,
Hey, what's this got to do with the pick?
Yeah.
You're ranting. You're ranting.
hey,
Let's
you know
let's
how
let's
it
get
is.
to the pick. You
Yes, the
picked the
Cowboys are
Cowboys.
winning.
All right, sensational. All right, you're not coming into LA. You check into LA. All right, that's how I feel. You're not coming into LA and opening up that stadium and beating them. The key is going to be, can the Rams find a run game? I don't know who's going to be running, but one of them guys. They gotta keep the Cowboys honest. But
They got
that
Cam
pat.
Newton.
Yeah, we got to see. We're going to learn a lot about that. But I think Goff's going to come in and he's going to let it fly. And I don't trust that secondary right now. Injuries and stuff like that. And then on the other side of the ball, I mean, that boy Donald still plays. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing it. And I think Ramsey just got paid. So, I mean, it looks like Cooper, Cooper on vacation this week.
But we
You know what
got
I'm
two other
saying?
good
He packed
receivers.
his bag. So, hey, CD, I hope you ready. I hope you ready game one because is Cooper might not as well play. So I got the Rams, but it's gonna be a
All right.
shootout.
On that comment, CeeDee Lamb has looked like the best receiver in camp so far, and then also the
Oh God.
the
Are you in
Ram
camp?
the
How do
Rams
you know?
the Rams the
Here we
Rams are
go,
lucky
Dylan. Are you
that there's
serious?
no fans allowed because if
He's been cooking
hold
Trayvon
on,
Diggs
hold,
in
hold
camp.
on, hold on.
That's what
The
he's been
Rams are
doing.
lucky
Come on,
that
Dylan. You
there's
can't
no
go out
fans allowed, and here's
camp
why they're
reports,
lucky.
bro.
Because the Cowboys training camp is always in LA, and the Cowboys are the most popular team in LA. If they had fans at that game, it would be a Dallas Cowboys home game.
All right, all right. I hear you. All right, next person on that.
I got the Rams. Uh, is Cooper playing?
Cooper is playing.
He's playing. Okay. I think they're gonna put Jalen Ramsey on him. He's gonna basically a box and one defense or equivalent to a box and one. They're gonna have Ramsey shadow Cooper. I'm not sold on the offensive line is not as good as it used to be. I'm not really sold on that. They got Aaron Donald, obviously. I do think it will be close, but I got the Rams winning. I think Jared Goff can come out and have a decent game. Your secondary is talented, but it's unproven, like you were saying. Jordan Lewis has been up and down. So is a Wuzier. Trayvon Diggs is a rookie. Your safeties are okay at best, although I do like Xavier Woods a lot. But I just think the Rams get it done. Brand new stadium. Excuse me. Sorry, I got the hiccups, y'all. Brand new stadium, bright lights. So I got the Rams winning this one.
I like it. I like the hatred.
I'm gonna say the
Not
Cowboys.
hate.
I honestly think the Cowboys are one of the most complete teams in the NFL. Personally, the Rams offensively, I don't know who they have on offense. Like they lost Brandon Cooks. They got a brand new rookie running back who nobody knows who's going to be the starter. Is it Cam Akers or is it who's the other guy?
Daryl Henderson.
And
Hey
Malcolm
man,
Brown.
we don't forget Malcolm
The
Brown. Don't forget
Longhorns
about him.
took him.
I never knew about him. Can't forget about him. But my point is, like, I don't know if they have the weapons on offense. I know, but one thing is, I think they're offensively they do a good job of scheming. So maybe they can give y'all a little bit of run for your money. But offensively, I think the Cowboys are built to control the game by means through the air or through the run game. And but the problem is on the Cowboys side is Mike McCarthy has historically been bad at scheming his players open when it comes to wide receivers. So I don't know how they're gonna, scheme open Cooper. Whereas I know they can rely on the other two as well. So they may not even have to scheme him
Nah,
open.
we
I don't
we
know.
don't have to. We just got to go out there and play some rec ball. That's all we got to do on offense.
All right, so we're 2-2. Next
Next
game.
game. All right. Buccaneers Saints.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Hey, who that say they gonna beat them Saints? That's how we coming. You know what I'm saying? I look for Drew Brees. Rumor is he's been working on his arm strength. That's what they saying. But I just think that it's too much hype around the Bucks, and they're gonna get a little humbled this week. You know, it's I think it's too much to fit that offense together. I mean, Fournette probably they saying he's going to get some workload, but I don't think it's going to be heavy. I think Jones is going to be ineffective, and then I mean the receivers, is Evans going to play? Is he not going to play? I think that would hurt.
He's
But
out.
he's out.
I think he's doubtful.
He's out
I
for
think we're gonna get introduced to Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, you know what you're getting with can't guard Mike, but I think they got that number 2 finally, and you know, Breeze is gonna let it fly. So I don't even think it's gonna be that close of a game. I got them at least by 2 scores.
wow.
I think the Bucks had a top 10 defense last year, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
but that's
I don't know
because
what
the
you were
other
watching.
offense, the other defense
They did.
scored all the time. The Buccaneers
Maybe in
offense is always
sacks,
out.
but that secondary is young, and Winfield's good, but them corners is young. So
No, Carlton Davis is a dog. Carlton Davis is a very good corner. He doesn't get the respect because it's the Bucks, but he's a very good player. But I'll just keep going. I got the Saints in this one too as well, Meech. I think it's gonna take a while for that Bucks team to become cohesive. I mean, they got a bunch of pieces. We talked about some of the complete teams in the league. Obviously, the Cowboys have a stacked roster. The Bucks have a stacked roster. The secondary is young, especially in the safety position. But I just think the Saints have been together too long. They're too cohesive, especially this season, the COVID season, no preseason games. I just think the Saints are going to come out looking sharp. Breeze is going to do their thing, and I think they get the week 1 victory. But I do think that they'll split this season series.
we didn't ask about that. It was week 1.
Yeah, so I was completely wrong about the Bucks defense last year. I don't think they were.
Yeah, you were. You know, we let you throw out that statement, but
But,
you know,
yeah. So I think damn, it's a tough one. I think if Mike Evans doesn't play, the Saints probably don't win. But if he finds his way, I don't know, man. I actually, you know what? I'm in the air about this one. I don't know.
It's easy.
Because Tom Brady's not a bad quarterback. Like, even though he can't throw the ball down the field, you know, he can still, you know, pick you apart if he playing zone. So I don't know.
Nah, it's the Saints. It's not gonna be close, like Meech said. It's done for. But I will say the Bucks made a good pickup with Josh Rosen. I like that pickup. It's low risk, high reward.
Come on.
we talking about a practice squad player right
Yeah,
now.
what the heck?
That was a good pickup. And you know what?
Hey,
Josh Rosen might
guess.
take over the quarterback job at some point. Maybe not this year, but next year.
what's we on picks, sir? We ain't on analysis. We on picks.
All right. So we got 3, and then we got 3-0. Saints beating the Bucks. There we go. Next up, 49ers and Cardinals.
Is this even a question? Man, that Niners defense is getting them up out of there. It's not even a question. Murray, I mean, I don't know if we're calling it a sophomore slump, but I don't know. I don't see it. You know, I don't see it. I think Sherman's a perfect match for a Hopkins. You know, because it's a physical. He does better with those kind of receivers. I mean, yeah, I just don't think. I think Mostert's going to get off. I don't see that Cardinals defense other than having some pressures. You know, with Jones. I'm interested to see Isaiah Simmons make his debut. I think a lot of hype. Where's he play? All over the field, etc. But too much talent. You know, even with Debo probably out, Kittle's going to kill it. It's just too much talent. But that Kittle versus Simmons matchup, I'm intrigued.
I got the 49ers too. I'm starting Kyler in fantasy. So hopefully he goes off. But I got the 49ers. I just think that defense is going to be too much. We know Cliff Kingsbury likes to air it out. I don't know who's on the opposite side of Sherman this year. I gotta look it up. I know they got Jason Verrett. I don't know if he's starting or not, but I got the 49ers. That defense is ridiculous, and I think the run game is going to be too much. But like Meech said, I am excited to see Isaiah Simmons and what he has. But I got the Niners.
Brian?
Go ahead, Dylan.
All right, I got the Niners too. I think Kyler Murray is going to be. I think Kyler Murray is overrated, honestly. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. I'm looking forward to him getting exposed. And like you said, the Niners defense, man, that D line is incredible. I think Nick Bosa takes a step forward. I think he might be 15 to 20 sacks this year. I think he's gonna.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year this year. And what helps him out is that defensive line has so many weapons on the defensive line with They got what 4 or 5 first rounders on that defensive line. So it's like pick your poison, and it's kind of hard to double Nick Bosa every single play. So I think Nick Bosa is gonna show out this game, and I think overall the 49ers are gonna smoke them.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are going to win. I think their offense is going to be perfect for the 49ers defense because I don't know if the 49ers, who they have in their secondary besides Richard Sherman.
They have
Jason Barrett,
that
Carsky
safety.
Tart.
Jaquiski Tart, is he a cover safety though? I think he's more of a.
Is Jimmy Ward not still
Jimmy
back
Ward.
there?
That's who it is. I was thinking about Jimmy
Ward
Ward.
back there too.
Okay.
Both of them. They're both good players.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Cardinals. I think they'll play pretty good to counteract whatever the 49ers throw at them.
Brian with these hot takes. Brian's about to be like 0-16 this week.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. You could tell he's forcing it. He's forcing it today.
So far, I've been right, man.
So far, you picked one game. So you're one.
I think everyone was in on the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got Bengals Chargers. Ooh, this is a tough game actually to pick. You got two teams that you don't know much about. The Chargers, you look at their team; they got some decent receivers, but Tyrod Taylor, is he going to be able to know that system right away? And then you got Joe Burrow, his first game as a starter. Like I said, I really like the Bengals receiving core as well. I think they got 3 really good receivers. Their defense is always showing up.
The defense has been awful for the past 3 seasons, Dylan.
It's been bad, but you gotta let Dylan just talk sometimes. You gotta let him
They
talk.
got talent on their defense. Like their defensive line has talent.
Name 3 players on their defense.
Name 3 players. All right, you got Carlos Dunlap.
How old is Carlos Dunlap? At
Right.
this
But I mean, he was good last year. Didn't he make the Pro Bowl?
Did
No,
he?
he didn't.
He's
I
still.
mean, if anything, you could have started with Gino. I give you
Yeah.
Gino.
Yeah.
He's not even playing.
You got Drake Kirkpatrick. Is he still on that team?
Drake Kirkpatrick's a free agent.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
not.
not.
He's here. He's
Exactly.
looking for a job.
Who really knows about the Bengals? Does anybody care about the Bengals but Gio Brooks?
Nobody knows about the Bengals, but the Bengals are losing this game. I got the
Yeah.
Chargers. The defense is too much. We know that Derwin James ain't playing,
is
but
back.
I don't care about that. They got Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. They drafted Kenneth Murray. He's a stud. I don't think Tyrod's gonna have to do too much to carve up that defense. They got Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. I think the Chargers just are gonna overpower them. And I'm not really sold on Joe Burrow. I'm really not. I think a lot of his production was a product of his environment there at LSU. So we'll see. I don't think that he's going to have the season that everybody projects him to be. So I got the Chargers.
I'm not sold on him, but he does have good receiving core, which is why I think he might put up good numbers this year. And we saw last year, you can be a rookie quarterback and not be that good, and people are going to vote you rookie of the year.
So, I'm on the Chargers. I think Tyrod's been in the system already. He knows Anthony Lynn. It's nothing new. I think he's a steady quarterback. He just has to play his pace. I'm not sure if Mike Williams is playing or he's injured, but he's got some guys, some jump ball receivers. I mean, Keenan Allen's as safe as it gets when he's healthy. So I see that. Eckler, I think they'll be fine. But at the end of the day, I don't know who's blocking Bosa, who's blocking Ingram. And then one thing we're not mentioning, I mean, that's a great corner, a great duo back there. You got Casey Hayward, who's a pick machine, but that man playing over there, that new addition. You know what I'm saying? He's locks over there. So I'm gonna have that, and then I think Burrow's gonna throw a few picks. Rookie game. I don't know if AJ's playing, so I think that tosses it up. I don't know when John Ross became qualified as a good receiver. I'm still lost at that statement. But hey, if he's a good receiver, we just given.
Ross.
You said they had 3 good receivers.
AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins.
Okay. I take that one back. I think T. Higgins. I don't know where he is on the depth chart because I think
They
John
got
Ross.
Auden Tate too, so I don't know how much Higgins is going to play.
Yeah. I think Higgins is his biggest thing is gonna be separation in the league. I don't think he's a separator, but maybe he'll make up for it with route running in good hands, making contested catches. But I've never been a huge fan of their receiving core other than AJ Green. But like I said, if he's not playing, I don't think they have anything scary.
I wonder where T. Higgins is. Like I said, nobody cares about the Bengals, but I like T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins is going to be a really good NFL receiver.
Well, yeah. So we're on the Chargers. What you got, Ryan?
Yeah, I got the Bengals.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
Hey, listen. It doesn't surprise me.
Coordinators,
You're bound to. You're gonna go 1-15 this
Hey,
week.
I hope you're marking down the picks though, because next time we're on here and it's after Sunday, I'm gonna let y'all have
Hey,
it.
T.
1
Higgins
and
is
15.
4. T. Higgins is 4th on the depth chart.
So he won't be getting too much clock.
Well, if AJ Green's not
Okay.
playing, he will be. And John Ross is going to get hurt 3rd game of the year.
Well, we're talking about this game, sir. So continuing. We could just skip Brian's take because he's throwing out. He's just looking at who the underdog is and picking them.
No. All right. We're not even gonna talk about it. Go ahead.
He knows he's wrong. I got the Chargers. I'm looking forward to Derwin James coming back. Joey Bosa's there.
Hold up. So did you just do all that pump faking like you were picking the Bengals and then switch to the Chargers?
Who, me?
No, I picked the Bengals.
No, I'm talking to Dylan. Dylan was sold talking that Bengals talk and then he
No,
switched.
because the only thing is like, how good is this offense for the Chargers going to be, right? We don't know.
It's going to be steady. It's
I
going to
don't
be
think it
steady.
has to be good week 1 for the Bengals defense.
Yeah,
That's what I'm mainly thinking on.
You want to see a dink and dunk offense? You start Tyrod
I
Taylor.
forgot to mention.
People got-
too, I
People got to stop being disrespectful to
this
Tyrod.
is back to
I think he's a good quarterback, but I know how he plays. He's scared. He's scared to play.
this is
He is super conservative. I'll give you that, Brian. But I don't think he needs to be anything special for this defense. I mean, they got Eckler back there. He can get the ball in a multitude of ways.
dude, Eckler might get
Keenan
200
Allen,
catches
Mike
this year.
Mike Williams is hurt. I'm trying to think who else they have on their receiving core. I don't really know. But
Keenan Allen.
I mean, I don't.
All you need to know is Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry. I think your tight end.
Hunter
You got to
Henry,
trust
that's right.
you got to trust your tight end when you don't take a lot of shots. So I think
Well,
that'd be good. And then
He gonna get hurt.
the running back Eckler is going to be big. All right, next game.
Oh, I also forgot to mention with the game earlier. I think Corey Davis is going to have a breakout year this year, but that's something else.
Hey, listen, you cannot go back to a take that late. That is ridiculous. That's from Monday Night Football, and
I just forgot
it's
to mention
canceled.
that. All right, next game. Dolphins Patriots.
Corey Davis,
Dolphins Patriots.
man,
Let's
you know
go, Brian.
you know how
Brian
we
goes
rock it.
first. Brian goes first, so he can't pick the person that we don't pick.
Come on, say the Dolphins, please.
I want to say the Dolphins.
Of course.
I want to say the Dolphins, but I'm thinking. Let me think for a second. Give me 10 seconds.
See, he needs to reflect.
He needs to reflect
needs
on
to
who
reflect.
we pick and pick the opposite.
Hey, that's fine. We can do that.
You know what? I think the Patriots gonna win.
Hey Brian, real talk.
Okay.
Would you
I
want to
think
bet?
Dolphins
You want to bet
better.
on all your picks? Because I'll bet $20 on all your picks.
You don't have that much money to lose.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Who owes me $100 right now?
In debt?
That's different though. That's different. That's fantasy football, bro.
Matt, dang. That's crazy. We got people in debt on this show.
Hey, aren't y'all all college students? Y'all not all in debt?
Yeah.
I guess. So continuing anyway, man, Cam, it's gonna be a breakout game for Cam. I'm this first of all, did Sanu get cut? I'm very confused.
Yes, he got cut.
Yep, he got cut.
So no one's just picked him up. We just acting like the Redskins don't need Sanu.
Sanu's a bum.
We just gonna say the Redskins don't need.
Stop saying the Redskins.
We're gonna say that football team in
Hey,
Washington
Evan,
doesn't
don't
need
tell us to stop
Dwayne
saying the
Haskins' uncle.
Redskins. Look behind you, please.
I know, I got it, but
But my bad. I'm so used to it. But yeah, it's gonna be a big game. I think.
I agree, though.
Yeah, no, I think Cam's gonna perform. Hopefully Sony's healthy to give him a little running game. The receivers, this is gonna be interesting because as much as you want to talk about the Dolphins, 2 corners I like, and if they play that scheme, you got some physical guys. And Howard, I think Howard's playing, but I'm interested to see what Byron Jones looks like in another uniform because as much as I think N'Keal Harry's a playmaker, N'Keal Harry's not a separator. He's a contested catch guy, and he's going against big corners. So we're gonna learn a lot about Cam because Cam has never been a guy that's been that accurate, So, but I think Cam gets it done with his legs actually, and I think that defense, they're gonna get it done. Shout out Jawan Bentley, I guess, DeMatha. So, yeah, there you have it.
Yes.
Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, I got the Pats too. That receiver core scares me just because I don't know who they have. I mean, I'm not sold on Harry yet. They have Edelman, obviously, but that's about it. I do think that the Dolphins are going to be It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be formidable. I like that defense. Meach mentioned the corners, but I do like that the defense a lot. I think Brian Flores is the perfect coach for them down there. I just think that the Patriots are, they're the Patriots. They hang their hat on defense. They got the best corner in the game. You know, Meach shouted out our classmate Jawan Bentley, who's in the middle of the defense this year. Not to say it's gonna sway my pick, but I got the Patriots. I just think they're gonna be too much for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Patriots too. I think Cam's going to do well. I think N'Keal Harry's going to have a breakout year this year. It's going to be a good year for him. So that's my picks. All right.
Who we got next?
Next up, Falcons Seahawks. A good game. I'm going to go. Who do I want to pick on this one? Do I want the Falcons or do I want the Seahawks? This is a good game, actually.
Yeah, it's early Matt Ryan. It's before he starts to suck. So it's interesting.
I honestly think the Falcons might win this game, and the reason I say that is, you got the dome, which plays to the advantage of the Falcons because they like to throw the ball a lot. Todd Gurley's going to be fresh. He didn't get many carries last year. Now, is he going to hold up throughout the whole year? I don't know. And Todd Gurley also didn't have to go through much contact during the training camp, so that's going to help him. And then obviously you got Julio, you got Calvin Ridley. They did lose Austin Hooper, but I think he was a little bit overrated. I mean, it's easy to get open in that offense with all the weapons that they had. I mean, because before they had Todd Gurley, they had Devontae Freeman. And then defensively, I really like A.J. Terrell. I know y'all don't like him that much, but I think he's going to be a dog. I think defensively they're going to improve this year. I mean, they can only go up from where they were. So I'm looking at that. And then from the Seahawks perspective, who is Russell Wilson going to throw to?
Is that a trick question? Is that a trick question? Who are you gonna throw to? He's gonna throw to
Rocket.
He's gonna throw to DK Metcalf.
Okay.
That's who he's gonna throw to.
DK Metcalf, though, he had a good year last year, but I don't think he's as good as people say he is. And Tyler Lockett's always hurt.
I think he's only going to improve. I mean, they took a flyer on a bunch of guys, so you're hoping that one of them pans out. I think another person to watch. He brings a veteran presence. Don't know what he has left in the tank, but security blanket, Greg Olsen. I don't take that goal line. I think that's big. And then you got a healthy Will Dizzy this year, and he looked good before he got hurt. So you're giving him two tight ends, and I mean Russell Wilson's always made it do with nothing for a lot of his career.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm interested to see how Chris Carson comes back. That fractured hip, that's a scary injury. So we'll see what he looks like. As far as Atlanta goes, I think Gurley. Hopefully he's fresh. It's gonna be a breakout year supposedly for Ridley. I mean, I feel like he's always been on the cusp of a breakout year, but without Sanu there, we don't know who their number 3 is really. So I mean, it's gonna be a breakout year for Ridley. Julio does what Julio does, best receiver in the game, and I think Hayden Hurst. They're saying he's gonna be on the field every down. So I mean, you gave up a number 2 for a guy who was arguably the number 2 or number 3 tight end for the Ravens. He's a speedster too, so I think he's got to have an effect in that passing game, and he's got that burst that Hooper didn't have. So look out for that. But I'm going to Seattle.
Now, how do y'all feel about Jamal Adams? Because I hate the Seahawks. They're such a good drafting team, and they always give away their picks for players who end up not panning out.
I think he's a dog.
Are they a good drafting team? I mean, they took LJ Collier. He didn't do anything last year.
They mess up first round picks.
Yeah, they do. They drafted Rashad Penny. He's done nothing. They drafted Bruce Irvin a couple years ago.
You said Bruce Irvin? Bruce Irvin was
Bruce Irvin was one of their sleeper picks that turned out pretty decent.
Yeah, Bruce Irvin was a good part of their Super Bowl.
Right. He was decent, but I'm saying it was just a surprise pick at the time. He did turn out.
No, but I'm just saying from 2010 to 2015, right? They picked so many good players, and then they traded away a first-round pick for Percy. They traded away a first-round pick, and then their starting center, which I think is part of their downfall for Jimmy Graham. Like, if they would have kept Max Unger, they would have been a much better team. And they just traded.
And Percy had so much hope. Percy was the man back in the day.
But he was injury-prone before they traded for him, too. I don't know why that was such a bad trade. I thought it was a bad trade when they made it happen.
He was. But another thing I forgot to throw out there, man. They got a guy playing free out there. He was supposed to be in jail. So I think Dunbar going to show up. He's lucky to be on the field. So You got you got a guy like Dunbar out there, smooth criminal. He's robbing off the field and on the field. So I mean,
Misha's just
you got
mad
him.
that he didn't get arrested, but your corner did.
You got now he snitched. He's 6'9", but it's all good. So you got Dunbar on one side, and then I mean they. What you think about Griffin? There's hype that Griffin's one of the top corners out there. I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm
I
believing the
like
hype.
Griffin, but I don't like him as much as people are saying it.
So I mean, I think they finally they finally get into the scheme they want. They got them big press corners, and I mean I think Adams is he's going to be that safety. I don't know, will he fill in for like that Earl role, or is he more the Cam Chancellor role? But he's kind of a hybrid, so I think it's different. I think they'll be good, and Matt Ryan's bound to throw at least 2 picks.
Jamal Adams is a little overrated to me. I think he's good, but I don't think he's that big of a playmaker. He's got like.
I was about to say a game changer. Yeah, he's a game changer.
I think he's perfect for that scheme that they run. They run a lot of one high over there. I don't think he has the range that Earl Thomas has, but I do think that he can make plays kind of like Cam Chancellor was when he was there as well. I got the Seahawks in this game. Matt Ryan, he's hit or miss. Obviously, they got Julio Jones. He's Julio Jones. He's going to do his thing. I just think that the Seahawks are better coached. They got Russell Wilson, the better quarterback. And, I think they're going to be good. They got a Super Bowl window now. Obviously, the Jamal Adams trade has been talked about up and down. He's a good player no matter how you slice it. So I got the Seahawks in this game, and I think they're going to have a pretty good season, to be honest. These hiccups are killing me.
All right, Brian,
you got the next. Oh, yeah.
Falcons?
I got the Seahawks as well.
Oh. I'm the only one to pick the Falcons. All right. So we got the Bears and the Lions. We got Mitchell Vick showing up versus Matthew Stafford. Who y'all got?
Stafford. Yeah, Stafford. I think Stafford's bound to. If he could have stayed healthy last year, he was going to have a big year. I mean, Stafford's one of them guys that always puts up big numbers and plays through injuries. But you're going to live with he's a gunslinger. You're going to live with your picks. He needs to establish that running back, though. I think that's key. So what Kerryon Johnson looks like after a year of injuries, AP, I don't expect to see him too much first game. Swift, I think he's out. But yeah. I think, T.J. Hawkinson's got to take that role. He's got to help him out at tight end. So, but that offense, a lot of potential, and I mean defense. They running that scheme. They're trying to get on their Patriot way. They added a few pieces there. So, I'm interested to see. I don't like the loss of Slay, but we're gonna learn a lot about that rookie corner from Ohio State. First game of the season.
Jeffrey Kuda. They don't
yeah.
starting right now.
He's not starting?
On their depth chart. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, yeah, I'm still going Detroit because I mean Mitchell Vick can't throw it to the receiver anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got the Lions too for all the reasons you mentioned, Meech. I have no trust in the Bears at all. I think they're going to be absolutely horrible. Mitchell Trubisky, I'm not a fan in the slightest. Matt Nagy, he's okay at best. I mean, the defense is formidable for sure, but that offense is just god awful. So I got the Lions.
Here's my thing, right? I'm actually going to pick the Bears, and Kenny Galladay's not playing, so I think without.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, he's doubtful. So I think without Kenny Galladay, he doesn't have. Matthew Stafford, like you said, is a gunslinger. He likes to throw the ball up, and Kenny Galladay's that nice jump ball receiver. So he's missing that. Will Marvin Jones show up? Maybe. But I think Eddie Jackson's going to have a big game. I think Eddie Jackson might get a couple picks. I think he might get a touchdown.
You love Eddie Jackson.
I do love Eddie Jackson. I think he was underrated last year. He's a playmaker, man. That's what he does. He makes plays. He scores touchdowns. So I think Eddie Jackson's going to do well. I think Allen Robinson's going to have a good game. I think Mitchell Vick's going to do pretty well. So I'm interested to see that. Who you got, Brian?
I got the Bears too, simply because I think the Bears defense is going to keep them in the game. Their offense is trash, but they're going against a trash defense, so it really doesn't matter. I think Stafford is actually going to put up a lot of yards, and I think Kerryon will show that he's actually a pretty good running back, but they're going to have a problem scoring outside of field goals, and that's because of the Bears defense, I think. So I think the Bears are probably going to come out on top here.
All right, next game. We got the Raiders and the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater coming in. We got, a bunch of new faces on both teams. Obviously, Jason Witten's on the Raiders now. Who you got, Evan?
Uh, this is a tough one, man. Because I like the Panthers. I'm gonna go Panthers. I know it's kind of a bit of an upset. I'm gonna go Panthers. I think they got the best player on either side. Obviously, it's football. It's not like basketball. One guy can't really take over. I like Matt Rule, Joe Brady. I think they're gonna come in with
Who's
an
the
offensive
best guy on either side?
Christian
Oh,
McCaffrey.
CMC. Okay.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's unstoppable. Like I said, Joe Brady, Matt Rule. I think they're gonna come in. They spent all 7 draft picks on defense. Starting with Derek Brown, who I think is going to be a stud from day one. And I just don't trust the Raiders, man. I'm not sold on Gruden. Derek Carr isn't that great to me. Yeah, they got Brian Edwards and Henry Ruggs, but I don't think that, and Josh Jacobs. But I'm just not sold, man. I'm not sold. That defense has some question marks too. Yeah, so I think Joe Brady, Matt Rule get it done. They don't have much film on them except for LSU and Joe Burrow in college. So I think the Panthers get the upset.
Yeah, nah, I definitely think the Panthers. My man Teddy, is good to see him back as a starting quarterback. I think he's got some speedsters on that team, So I mean, I think Robbie Anderson, he's going to be a big weapon. I think, of course, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, they got some guys, So I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to look good. It's going to be the Raiders. I just think they're too young on offense. We're going to learn a lot, but I think Ruggs is not ready. Edwards, I think maybe have a good game, but Darren Waller, him versus Shaq Thompson is going to be a big matchup. I think Darren Waller's easily going to get about 12 targets. So I think it's going to be on him and a lot of Josh Jacobs. But yeah, definitely, I don't think that offense is ready.
No, I agree. I think it's the Panthers. I don't like John Gruden as a coach, really. I think he's an overrated coach. I think he's still coaching like it's the early 2000s. And, I don't even think, that Super Bowl wasn't really his Super Bowl. Yeah, he did really well with the Raiders, and they should have, probably won the Super Bowl the year before that. But it is what it is. So I got the Panthers when I think CMC is going to go off. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to manage the game really well. I am interested in seeing how the Panthers defense plays, especially without Luke Kuechly and whatnot. So it'll be interesting.
You guessed it. I got the Raiders. I think the Raiders because their pass rush is going to give Teddy Bridgewater a hard time. Like, yeah, you got some fast receivers on, the Panthers and whatnot, but what
Who's blitzing?
Their defensive ends are pretty good.
Who's blitzing? What are their names?
What's his name?
Mark Edwards.
Last year, the first round pick from last year.
Who?
And they got what's his name?
So Farrell, who had a terrible year last year, he's gonna get it after them.
Yep.
Farrell wasn't even their best pass rushing rookie. Their best guy was Max Crosby, best guy on it.
He's a dog though. They did get Corey Littleton in the offseason too. I think it was
Littleton. I think he'll definitely add a different element, and that Littleton versus CMC matchup will be decent. But I mean, we already CMC's.
I mean, they got Josh. Dog. What's his name? Abrams back too on the secondary.
He's a hitter. He is a hitter.
I think the hardest part of the John Gruden offense to master was probably the quarterback, and he's in his third season now, I believe. So I think Derek Carr will be able to master the offense a little bit. He'll probably find. Actually, I think Hunter Renfrow might have the biggest game for them in terms of receiving, and I think they're gonna win.
It sounds like you're gonna go 1-15. That's what it sounds like.
He did pick the team that we picked.
Yeah, he did. So he's gonna go like 3-12.
That doesn't add up to 16, Meech.
My bad, man. My math. Hey, we're gonna skip past that one.
What would you say if I end up being right on all these?
Hey, man, you the Swami if you right on everything, but you're not gonna make half of these bets.
All right, I got. Next pick is Colts and Jaguars. That's an easy game.
Yeah, can we just we got to talk about it? Can we just say the team?
Colts.
Colts.
Go ahead, Brian. Say Jaguars.
No, I got the Colts, bro. I ain't
But I
stupid.
do think
Cool.
Chris Thompson's going to score a couple of touchdowns in that game.
It doesn't matter in garbage time. Let's,
Fantasy.
let's go ahead.
All right, next up is Ravens Browns.
Whew, that's a
Oh,
hard one. It shouldn't be that hard, but they always play each other tight. Man, my man OBJ, I really need him to have a big year this year. I think he's gonna have a big year. I think Baker's got to rebound. He lost a lot of that fat he had, so I mean, hopefully he's in shape. Chubb, I mean, I know he was injured a little bit, but I mean he'll be fine. I think Hunt, Miles Garrett got paid, but that secondary, they scare me. They scare me so much because I mean Greedy. Is he hurt or I don't know. He gets
nice.
toasted he gets toasted half the time. That's their safeties are bad. They don't have no safeties.
They lost Grant Delpit too.
Yeah, that's what that
They
added
did.
into it.
They traded for Ronnie Harrison, who's a dog.
I don't know if he's a dog, but
Oh,
I mean they
terrible.
did add Ronnie Harrison. I think the biggest thing too on the Browns is that I'm interested to see that offensive line go up against that Ravens pass rush. They invested in Conklin. They invested pick in Jedrick Willis, and he's starting at left tackle. So kind of getting thrown in the fire against that Ravens defense. I do not think Lamar can have the same kind of year. I think he's once you do it one year, people get the blueprint on you. Unless you're Patrick Mahomes, there's no blueprint for Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? But Lamar, all that running, all that stuff is, I think he has a down year compared for Lamar standards. But Hollywood Brown, I'm trying to tell you, Hollywood Brown he's the next receiver. He can stay healthy. He's got that. Anyone related to AB, they got that gold in them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give Hollywood Brown, and then I want to see J.K. Dobbins. How many of the carries does he start to steal away from Mark Ingram? I think that's gonna show a lot because he adds a different element to that team. And yeah, they drafted a bunch of receivers. So who's the next guy? Is it Duvernay? Is it the guy from SMU? Who's the next guy in line? So
Yeah.
but I didn't give a pick. So where's the game being where's it playing? Play that
Baltimore.
Baltimore, man. We going Baltimore just because it's being played there.
I'm gonna jump in early. I'm gonna say the Ravens. I think they're much better coached. The thing is, I like the Browns simply because they just have so much talent on their team. But I don't think they're well coached enough to make the chemistry work.
You don't even know the new coach.
My point exactly. Look,
how you gonna say they're not well coached? You don't even know how my man coaches.
I mean, I don't know. This is my opinion. I just think the Ravens are a better coach team. And on top of that, you brought up their pass rush. That's perfect because Baker doesn't know how to sit in the pocket. Maybe he learns this year. Maybe he gets a little bit better. But that was the main reason why they were so bad through the air last year is because Baker kept getting flushed out the pocket. And he became extra predictable when he left it. So, I mean, and I also think the Ravens on offense, talent-wise, they have players that can change up. Like, they could actually completely change their offense if the teams from last season had that blueprint where they think they run and all those mixed directions in the backfield. They have nothing but speedy receivers on the outside. Plus, they added J.K. Dobbins, who's great coming out the backfield. So, yeah, I think the Ravens got it.
I'm going Ravens too. Obviously, these are two of the most talented and hyped up teams this season. I'm hoping for OBJ to have a big year too, Meech. Hopefully, Baker Mayfield can get things going. I just think the Ravens defense is the best defense in the NFL. I really do feel that way. So I got the Ravens. I don't think they can keep up with Lamar. I mean, he might have a down year last year, but after the year he had last year, is that like saying much? Probably.
Yeah. No, it's not saying much.
The only thing that scares me is the Ravens receivers. Besides Hollywood Brown, they got a bunch of question marks. Seth Roberts, Miles Boykin going to take that next step. James Prochet, who they drafted, Devin Duvernay. We'll see what they got. So, I got the Ravens. I just don't think that the Browns can keep up with them for game one.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to lean on the Browns. The Ravens, they got a better defense. Problem with the Browns is I thought that trade where they picked up Olivier Vernon from the Giants and sent over Greg Zietler, I think that ruined any chance they had because with a short quarterback, you got to have good protection in the middle. And Greg Zietler was the best pass blocking guard in the league that year. And I think last year he was as well. And you gave that up for a over the hump defensive end. I think that was the key for them. That was one of the keys for their demise, as well as going with Freddie Kitchens, who did not have any control of that team. I think that was some issues with the team. Did they improve the offensive line? I don't know if they really improved the offensive line that much. I think OBJ is going to have a bounce back year this year. I think he's finally healthy. He's going to play well. So they do have weapons. It'll be interesting to see how they play. They got Austin Hooper as well. Defensively, are they going to be able to improve? I don't know. Myles Garrett will be back. Obviously, he's going to be an impact, and he's going to be a force on the defensive end. But the Ravens are just too talented, I feel like. Their defense is so stout. They got good linebackers. They got good corners. They got really good corners on the Ravens defense. So I think the Ravens are going to be able to control the ball with their running game on the offensive side and really be stout on the defensive side. So, yeah, I got the Ravens. Next game, another easy pick. We got Washington versus Philadelphia.
Oh, you might as well just call out the name.
Philadelphia. Everybody got Philadelphia. Evan, you got Philadelphia as well?
Yeah, I do. I'm excited to see Chase Young, obviously.
Wow.
Offense,
I love the honesty.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. No point in acting. I got Philly. Like I said, excited to see Chase Young. I'm not too thrilled with Scott Turner being our offensive coordinator. I didn't want him to get the job. I wanted to keep Kevin O'Connell. Obviously, he's with the Rams. I think he had a good thing going with Haskins. So we'll see. We got Terry McLaurin, but I mean, I think Philly is they're just better than us. This is still a rebuilding year. This year's all about Haskins to see if he's the guy moving forward, but I don't think we win this game.
I love the honesty there. You already know. We don't really got to say too much. It doesn't matter who's out there wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. When you line up against them Washington football team, you know it's a dub. You don't got to. It doesn't matter who his receivers are. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It don't matter if Miles Sanders is healthy or not. None of it matters.
Yeah. Brian, you got the Eagles as well?
Hey, you take the Redskins, I will bet money right now on live.
I got to ask Evan a question. What do you not like about the Redskins' new offense coordinator?
So what I don't like about Washington's new offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, I just think that he's really going to try to run that like North Turner type, get it to the backs. He's going to get it to the backs a lot out of the backfield, which is cool and all, but we don't have a special talent like Christian McCaffrey, at least not yet. They love this Antonio Gibson guy. I think the hype is already too out of this world for him not to have played it down. I mean, he had 33 touches in college, which is a small sample size. So I don't know what's going on there. I just think that he doesn't really take too many downfield shots. I know they run a lot of play action, which I guess is cool. And our O-line isn't really that great. So I just don't like, from what I've been reading and the way that they sound like they're going to, play offense this year, I just don't think it's cohesive for what Haskins does well, which is get the ball out quick to playmakers in space. And, obviously he has a cannon, he can throw deep as well. So I just don't know how well they're going to play to his strengths.
There we go. So who you picking?
We got the Redskins.
Hey, how much money would you like to put on
how
this?
much money?
Because I'm not confident.
We got to stop saying Redskins, bro.
You said how much?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's a little bit of a superstition. I think they lost the Redskin name. The curse is broken.
Are you betting?
Yeah, I said 5.
5?
I'll take that 5.
So you got 5 on both of us.
Nah, I ain't betting.
So we got 5. It's established.
5 on both of y'all. I'll take 10. That's
all
fine.
right.
Okay, so that's established in our. How many bets do we have? We got a fantasy bet. We got okay, so $25 on the stake. Okay, cool.
So he got $50 that he's about to give both of us. That's or each of us. No, $50.
Wait, you're a fantasy game too?
We bet on the We bet 10 on fantasy. We bet 10 on the Giants Steelers, and then we just bet 5 now.
Right, I know you, but Dylan.
Yeah, we bet. I bet $10 that Juju wasn't getting 1,000 yards this year with you.
That's the end of the season bet.
Huh?
I didn't take
yes,
that.
You did.
Bet,
I got it on screenshot.
Yeah, let me see the receipts on that.
Hey, can we hurry up? How many more games we got?
We got 2 more games. We got all right.
And then
bro.
Let's run through this because we ain't even touch basketball. Basketball's gonna be quick.
We got Packers Vikings.
Oh, that's a good one.
Who'd you say Packers Vikings game? Oh, that's tough.
Where's it at?
It is in Minnesota.
There's no fans, Meech.
It matters at the end of the day. No, you playing home and playing on the road, fans or no fans, it still matters.
I I got. I'm actually gonna go with the. Who do I want to go with? That's a hard game. And I'm thinking about the Vikings. Like I think Dalvin Cook's gonna have a good game, but on the other side, I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have a good game. And I'm looking at the defense, and do either defenses really scare me? Not really. I think the Packers defense is going to take a step back. I think obviously Mike Zimmer's a great defensive coordinator. So obviously the Vikings defense is always going to play very well, but they don't have weapons on that defense that I'm super scared of.
You're tripping.
Who's on the Vikings defense that scares you?
You're not scared of Yannick?
Daniil Hunter.
He's
You-
hurt. I think he's out for
Yannick
the
is so
season.
overrated.
First of all, Yannick is not overrated. He doesn't get a bunch of sacks, but he
He's not
constant
No,
pressure.
he's a good interior lineman.
He's not. He's a
He's a
DN.
DN. He was
So
a DN on a 3-4 team.
He's
Cody
not an
was.
interior guy. He's not an interior guy. So another thing to thought there. How you not scared of Harrison
Yeah, that's
Smith?
what I was gonna say. Harrison Smith's the only one that I would be scared of.
And I think another
Eric
thing. I mean,
Kendricks, no.
You said who?
Eric Kendricks. You do? Are we sleeping on him?
Anthony Barr.
Anthony Barr's not that good.
I mean, I think another thing we're gonna see with this Vikings, they got some corners. They're young corners, but they drafted some of them, and I think Cam Dantzler. I think he's a sleeper in that scheme. He's mugging people at the line of scrimmage. It's not fair. So I mean, obviously it's the Devontae Adams show. He's gonna do his thing, but he doesn't have they don't have no options for Rodgers. He has no one to throw it to other than Devontae Adams. So I'm going Vikings. Dalvin Cook, he sounds excited even though he hasn't got his payday. And I think Thielen's ready to show he's the number one with or without Diggs. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just a natural route runner. And it's gonna be interesting because I think Alexander's gonna check him, but I mean he can't check him. And then interested to see what this guy Jefferson looks like in his first game. I think he's a little raw, but we'll see.
I got the Packers.
Yeah. Sounds like
Yeah,
I would
I
take
don't know
that
who I
bet.
want to take, but
I'm calling
I'm
foul.
gonna go ahead and go with the Packers just because I got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams on my fantasy team, so I kind of got to roll with them.
And
Okay.
their secondary is nice.
All right, the next one's easy again. Bills Jets. We all know who's winning that game.
Man, we already know.
I get my pick for the Packers.
Dang, you just skipping
Oh,
people.
Evan, who you got?
I got the Vikings.
There we go.
I got the Vikings. I just think that defense is going to be too much. They only have Devontae Adams. I mean, we all know about their draft, which was bad. They got Aaron Jones too, who's a stud. But I just think that Vikings defense is going to be too much. I'm interested to see Justin Jefferson as well. He's one of my favorite receivers coming out of the draft. Thielen, we know what he's capable of. So I got the Vikings.
Yeah, I like Justin Jefferson.
There
as
we
well.
go. All right, so we all on Buffalo. No need to even discuss that game.
Yeah, we all got Buffalo.
Say that. All right, so now what is it? Just playoffs, and then we
Yeah, playoffs. So we got obviously the Clippers going to close out that series today.
It's actually not
Is it two on-
the Nuggets are up.
Oh, Nuggets are up. The Clippers were blowing them out
Yeah.
earlier.
Hey man, that guy from Kentucky's
Jamal
a
Murray,
different guy.
man.
When he wants to be that player, he's that player. It's just consistency is his biggest downfall. He doesn't bring it every night.
Sheesh. I was not. I turned it off, and they were up by like 8 points going into the fourth. I was done with it.
It's a 4 minute. I mean, it's a 4-point game with 2 left. So I mean, it's not over. But I mean, I think we all know the Clippers are going to win the series. But I think Denver's going to win tonight.
Paul George is going off. This is a good game, fellas.
Kawhi
4-point
Leonard's
game.
going off too, man. But
What's the best player in the planet? What you expect?
Of course.
all right. So yeah, we all got the Clippers winning that, but that's a good game going on. Today, Game 7, C's Raptors. Though, who y'all got?
Ooh, that's such a tough
Did we
game
put 10 on
because
it?
it's.
We put 10 on it.
I think
No,
that
we did not bet on this game.
I thought we
we
put
talk
10
about that
on it.
missed call and the
We
thing
did not make a bet on this game.
with Nick Nurse standing on the court last game with Jason.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
That should have been a
That's
tech.
ridiculous. And then Kimba's driving to the rack and clearly gets hacked.
He got fouled. He did get fouled. I mean, that Nick Nurse pass. Nevertheless, you gotta
No,
look.
he's standing on the court in the corner, Meach.
You
That's
gotta
dumb.
look.
That's
You gotta see a green jersey and a suit. How you gonna
He
get
wasn't
cool,
wearing a
but
suit.
come
He was wearing a gray polo. Which
gray
wait,
green?
no, it was like a greenish gray though. Like
It was. Regardless, what coach have you ever seen stand in the corner on the court? Like, come
My
on.
man's hype. He's
and he's
hype.
looking.
I'm not gonna
and
lie.
he looked like he was in position to take a shot
Yeah,
too.
exactly. He did. Granted, Jason Tatum took the blame for it. We all know that he's super mature, and he's not gonna, blame somebody else for that. Granted, but I just think that the Celtics
Said
got
my man
robbed.
super mature, not like Michael Porter.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Porter probably would have something crazy to say, but I got the Celtics. I just think that they got too much firepower. I mean, Siakam hasn't played great in this series. Kyle Lowry, I'm not sold. He's been up and down the series as well. I just think the Celtics got too much firepower, and I just think that they come out swarming on defense, and I think they move on to the next round. I picked the Celtics Clippers in the finals, obviously, and I think that they can get it done.
Yeah.
It should be a great game.
Meech, we
It
put
is
10
gonna
on
be
that game.
We did not make a bet on this game. We talked about it, but no one pulled the trigger on this.
$10 right now.
Who are you picking?
Jeez.
So I'm gonna get into my statement real quick because I feel conflicted. I feel like the heart of a champion. That's what the Raptors showed 2 nights ago. They showed Kyle Lowry out here getting it done. You know
Can
what I'm
you say his
saying?
name
Put some
right?
respect on him. Whatever. You say Larry, I say Lori. It's all the same
Lowry.
thing.
Lowry.
Lowry like the salt, like
Yeah.
the seasoning. There we go. So yeah, I mean Kyle. We're just gonna call him by his first name. So impressive. Big contributions from Norman Powell. I don't know if they'll get that again. Another thing. I mean, what was I gonna say? OG's been good this series. For the most part.
He's the only reason
I
why
think
they're still
who
in.
else?
He's-
Yeah, he's been good. Fred VanVleet, he struggled a little bit. I think he'll have a pretty good game. The key is just, I mean, it's too much talent to bet against, because Tatum, Brown, I mean, Kimba's just been there. Like you said, things had to go completely left for them to lose that game, to not foul call. I mean, to miss foul call, etc. And then I think the guy that's impressed me the most in this series, Marcus Smart. When did he get a jumper? When did he get a knockdown? Like, I'm talking about like Scatty. Like that's really what it's been for Marcus Smart. Just, I mean, the toughness. You can't like coach that. He's bringing that, but I think he's a difference maker on that team. And then, I mean, I'm probably gonna mess up his name, but Thies or whatever. He be getting the easy tight, whatever. He gets the easy dunks. Kimba just serves him, and it's a smooth dunk. So I mean, I just think it's too much. It's too much firepower, and they're headed to play the Heat.
They're backing out of the $10 that you bet me.
We did never make a bet.
We did.
We talked about it. We never made no
bet because I was counting up all the money I had on bets.
Listen. You shouldn't count before we have an agreement.
$10, and you said I'll do 10 on it because I said 20. You said 20 is too much. I said 10. You said all right.
We didn't agree. You got it in text.
No, it was on the phone call.
We didn't agree to nothing on
This
that
man
phone call.
needs
If anything, I was trying to get you to bet on the Cowboys Rams, and you said I don't bet on my team. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have no bets made so far. We talked about it, but I was too hesitant. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man, can't do it.
I got the C's. I think the C's are going to dominate. Not dominate, but I think the C's got, like you said, too much firepower. Celtics, they do have the heart of the champion. They got a coach who's able to be in the right place at the right time. But I got the C's. And obviously the Lakers are beating the Rockets. We got that series done with. So
Hold up, does Michael Porter only have 3 points tonight?
yeah, the coach said you want to get fed, we're not feeding you no more.
He's got 21 minutes, but 3 points. Wow.
That's what happens when you.
But he just hit a big three for his only 3 points, but it was a huge three.
That's what happens when you talk smack.
Yeah, he put him up 5 just now.
Yeah, it was a big shot, but 3 points. God damn.
Anything else? Are we good?
We good, man. Hope you feel better, Evan.
Glad football's back, man. I'm gonna say that. I'm excited for the season. Should be a great one.
Yeah, I think
we need sports now more than ever in this time, and glad it's all back, man.
Cowboys, Tampa, February. Be there.
Jesus Christ. All right. All right, fellas.
All right, later.